It's been a minute since I've been on this thing, man. Happy holidays to everybody. About to be
There's
happy
not
New
much
Year.
intention.
Let's check this out real quick.
I think there is.
I'm
I
not
think there
gonna
was
do
with
it.
that song that didn't make it. I think there was, which
Hold on.
says a lot about art. That I had this thing in my head that was going to be great, and it, fuck great. It wasn't even good. I didn't even finish it.
All right.
Yes.
Hey, Tre07 reactions, guys. What's going on? I don't know if anybody's been waiting for my videos, but I figured I'd get on one real quick. It's New Year's Eve. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon, and I had this one saved. These interviews are very, very recent. Vinnie Paz, one of my top three rappers. I like Tupac, Nas, and Paz. But actually, Nas is like surpassing Pac. Like, probably should have surpassed him a while back, but he hadn't been putting stuff out like that. And then he most recently, I've been reminded of how dope an MC he is, and how staple he is to the hip hop game, period. Like the culture, the rap, the knowledge, it to me, hip hop, when I grew up with it, like, I was first exposed to hip hop through a mixtape that had Tupac, Wu-Tang, Gravediggers, Flatliners, and possibly some Naughty by Nature, right? So it was like, there was influential, there was hardcore, there was like philosophical, you know, and then Nas. Like, I was introduced to Pac before Nas. Then I got into, like, I was like, okay, there's Nas, there's Mobb Deep, there's Gangstar, there's Boot Camp Click, there's so many artists. And then I moved down south, so I kind of got a little bit down south, like Trick Daddy, and I was listening to E40, like West Coast. I was listening to a lot of stuff, Scarface, Ghetto Boys, you know what I mean? Like, so I had a great influence, and I think, to me, the hip hop element, not just the rapping and the glorified lifestyle rock and roll is like that too, but I listened for the poetic part of it, the philosophical parts, the wisdom. When people talked about dropping dimes and kicking knowledge, that was what it was. Like, to me, MCing came about where, like, you had something to say, and you wanted to tell a group of people over some beats, you know what I mean? And then became, like, kind of battling who could be the dopest. But an MC was speaking to the crowd. He wasn't necessarily the rapper, but the MC, the guy on the mic who had something to say. Then they started making the beats and rapping over the beats, you know. I know a little bit of it, but whatever. But Paz, to me, is, like, anyway, back to this video, number 3 on my list. Nas, Pac, Paz. Pac, Nas, Paz. That's my list. And then I got Kasky and Yellow Wolf in the next two. MGK kind of flips in there, but people are like, oh, MGK, whatever. Anyway, so there's a lot of dope artists out there. My list is different than your list. The list is different than, you know what I mean? It's all around. Drake could be on the list, for instance, even though he's not, like, you know, just the fact that he doesn't write sometimes. You know, I don't know. Vinnie Paz, I've never heard anybody say, like, somebody's ghostwriting for Vinnie Paz. I mean, it's the type of shit I'm talking about. And that's the arguments you'll get. Well, who cares? He's still dope. Da 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 da. Okay. I mean, you have your list. I got mine. Let's get into this. There's a couple other interviews I want to check out too, but this one especially.
There's not much intention behind how I move. I think there was with that song that didn't make it. I think there was
Which is ironic.
Says a lot about art.
Right.
That I had this thing in my head that was going to be great.
Right.
And fuck great. It wasn't even good. I didn't even finish it. There's one verse. It's it. It'll never see the light of day. You know, I don't know if we're going to keep coming back to that and think like
he had an idea that he, like, okay, I think this is the thing with artists. They want to be big, they want to be popular, but they still want to be, a lot of artists want to be authentic, right? But, like, when you think, like, oh, this is it, this is the hit, this is the one, and then it doesn't go, you know what I mean? Or just something that naturally came to you is very popular. Like, Eminem hates Slim Shady. Hi, my name is, hi. And that had Dre behind it. He didn't even want that to be, like, how he came out, but that's how you came out. And that's a fear of mine as an artist, to come out and then be forever known as whatever you came out with. You know what I'm saying? So, like, staying consistent with who you are as an artist is very important, because if you venture out there and you become a hit, that's what you're known for. And everybody's like, oh, man, but like Kanye, you know, Kanye is known for this, but at the same time, I don't know. It's just how I look at it. And he's talking about possibly a track that never came out, that they were trying to make the hit and it just never even, like, saw the light of day.
Can we get this right? You know, because the original record, obviously I'm not going to say what it is. The original record is so good, it's like, yo, can we get this? But it felt like we were trying.
Tell
to
me
get
what it
the
is,
song
man.
And trying different things and loop it this way. So there's something to be said about what happens to art when there's intention behind it. You know,
Right.
I think there are people though that approach it.
Oh, I'm so glad he's talking about this, because this is what like you struggle with. Like when you have intention behind it, like let's just say, you know, with the YouTube and the influencer era, you know, YouTube gives you the formula and tells you who your biggest audience is, what time you should post, what you should almost even say, right? If you find your audience and you realize what your audience wants to hear, you start putting shit out according to what your audience wants. And then you kind of, I think, lose some of your audience because that audience was once paying attention to you because they liked what you were doing. Then you started trying to market to me, and I started being like, yo, I see this. That's bullshit. I don't want that. Like, that's not what made me like you. So that's where, like, to me, that's where I fall off being a fan of an artist, is when it doesn't seem natural anymore. It's intentional. And I think that's what he's talking about.
Intention and are successful at it. If you look at people who are so,
Drake, Wayne,
it's like
they're very intentional with what they're doing.
It's almost maniacal.
Yeah.
With purpose, like
Yeah.
Kubrick.
Yeah.
You know, and the process and his process, and like, so you're talking about a guy who is like, in my opinion, the greatest American director ever. Just in my opinion.
Right.
But that's a motherfucker with purpose and intent. You know, so you can't say, oh, that doesn't work. It's just interesting to see how, you know.
It's got no negative.
There's a lot.
It's not a negative connotation. I get what he's saying. It's just like when you got it depends. Some artists are just, it's where you get the starving artist that can't get it right and be like the solid moneymaker. But then you got Drake that's like, fuck it, I'm going to embrace this whole thing and like be super intentional with exactly what I want to do. And there's nothing wrong with either. A little bit wrong being the starving artist because you're not, you know, getting paid for what you're doing. But, you know, I think those people get recognized a little bit later and in different ways, you know.
A lot of intent in my rhythm though. I record. It's very regimented, but I don't think that's the same as intention. Right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
No. That's not the same as intention. Like, I'm gonna post every day at this time. You know, that's just your routine. Intention would be like, I know that these people like when I say this, and this, and when they're online at 3:27, I'm gonna post this particular video. And I think a lot of artists have mastered that. Like a lot of artists that people will be like, oh yeah, they're big, they're huge. I'm like, huge because they captured their market, but on a broad spectrum, like nobody's checking for some of these guys, but they've mastered the art of targeting their market, and that's intentional, and they're prospering off it. You know what I'm saying? Can't hate on that. It's just not for me.
And Wednesday, right? All those nights, overnight. Like I started like 11 at night, and stopped like maybe when the sun starts coming up. I can't do anything during the day ever.
Pazzians are the only one that could still rock the fucking lines in the eyebrow and not be talked shit to like Vanilla Ice style.
Nothing creative. I'm useless. I'm miserable.
Okay.
I get depressed.
Okay.
What people call seasonal depression happens to me in reverse. When the weather's nice and warm and hot, I get depressed. I get depressed during the daytime. When my sleep gets knocked off schedule of my nocturnal schedule and I'm up during the day, I'm fucking miserable.
Huh. I used to kind of be like that. I'd be up till 5, 6 in the morning.
Do the same thing, record late, you know.
These fucking interviews are so interesting.
I mellow out on Friday, and on Saturdays I watch the fights. Because I think that what's happening there is a band gets together and they start jamming, right?
Right.
And smart bands.
I'd love to see Paz with a band.
And they go, well, we had like 4 hours of this. Like, let's take this riff. Let's take that. This whole chunk was wet. It's not like I'm recording 3 things a week, right? There's 52 weeks in a year. All right, you can't say I'm there every week because there's holidays, there's touring, there's Scott having other things to work on. But for the most part, I'd say 30, is that fair? 35 to 40 weeks a year. So say 40, say I do 3 things a week at 40. I'm creating 120 pieces of something
regimen
a year. Like,
It's ill.
They're not all
So
great.
fucking
They're not
ill.
all good. There's a lot that's involved with it, though. And a lot of it is me. It's like exercise.
Yeah.
But it's rhyme exercise. I got to keep my sword sharp.
Right, right.
You know, that falling off. My fear of falling off. And boy, I say falling off. If you don't like me, you don't like me. It's not going to. There's going to be. If you don't like my shit, you just don't like my shit.
Right, right.
People that know that my sword is still sharp.
Yeah.
It comes from this fear of me watching guys that we idolized,
Yeah.
like disappear for 5 years, come back, and they sound like the old uncle at the barbecue rhyming.
Oh,
Like
shit.
there's current legends now that sound old. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
One thing
right,
I don't
right.
is sound old. If you don't like my style, you don't like
You don't like my style,
you
but-
don't like my content. you
But
don't
he
like my
stays
voice,
up.
all
He
right, just-
stays up on his shit. He's down with the lingo. He knows he's out there, right? And I agree. Like I think so. He said some old heads sound like your uncle at the barbecue. Yo, that's how raw Paz is. I love it, man. My fucking favorite.
Just get out of here. Cool.
First thing I heard from Paz was Jedi Mind Tricks with that Mike Tyson sample. Din, din, din. And he go, fuck, I forget the name of the song. Like, and I'm so stupid for forgetting the name of the song. But hold on, let me look up just real quick. What do you guys think of this? Are you a fan of Vinnie Paz? If you obviously if you're watching this, you might be a fan if you're looking up Vinnie Paz, right? One of the most popular. He was also part of come on, where's the other song at? Let me put my music back on. Anyway, I hope you guys had a good holiday. That was that Vinnie Paz on his creative process, being Nocturnal, staying sharp as an MC. Was it Heavy Metal Kings is one of my favorite. With this is Retaliation. I think Retaliation wasn't it. I don't know all the names of Razor Blade Salvation's a good one. Animal Rap, that's the one. 2003. I heard Animal Rap for the first time. Yo, bust your motherfucking Mac to this. Y'all believe lies like I was Catholic. Yo, Vinnie Paz hold a hammer like a carpenter do. Yo, that shit. Vinnie Paz, that's where I was like, who is this motherfucker, right? And I just started listening to them from there on out. Anyway, this is Tre07 Reactions. This is, it's been a minute since I posted a video, maybe a few weeks, to be honest with you. I just haven't been motivated to get out here. You know, family was in town, had, you know, the holiday with the kids and building stuff for Christmas and all that good stuff. So I hope you guys had a good holiday. Happy New Year. I'm going to put this one out today and get a couple more done just so I have them for the week. Till next time, thanks for hanging out with me. Peace.
Look, depend on it. We cook your meals. We haul your trash. We connect your calls. We drive your ambulances. We guard you while you sleep. Do not fuck with us.